What's good, everybody? Today we are going to be looking at the top 10 sneaker releases of 2022. So I've been wanting to make this list for pretty much all year long. This is really like the first year I've been this involved with sneakers. I've liked sneakers for a couple years, 2-3 years now. But I haven't been like really into it until probably about a year and a half ago. So when I started this channel, this was the video that I was most excited about making because it's the first time I've actually made one of these lists. And for me, this is probably one of the best lists that could be made. I mean, this the lineup we have is crazy. And not only are the top 10 shoes really awesome, but there's quite a few honorable mentions, like probably 6 or 7. But yeah, so let's get into number 10. I cheated a little bit. There's 2 on number 10, but I couldn't bring myself to knock either one of these out. The first part of number 10 is the Jordan 1 Taxis. So this is probably my second favorite Jordan colorway to release this year. I'm a big Pittsburgh Steelers fan, so naturally the black and yellow just appeals to my eyes very much. And not only is it the color of my favorite football team, but these are the first Jordan that I was able to, not just Jordan 1, but these are the first Jordans that I've hit on the sneakers app. So for me, this shoe will always hold a place in my heart just because I've missed out on so many Jordan 1s and Jordans in general, 3s, 4s, even a couple of 2s. But yeah, so this being not only the color of my favorite football team and sports team in general, but also being the first Jordan that I hit on sneakers app, just makes that a little more meaningful for me. Another reason I couldn't knock this shoe out is because it is probably the best quality Jordan that we got this year. And it's the best quality on a Jordan 1 that we've seen for a long time. In fact, people are comparing them to the shattered backboard Jordan 1s, which for sneakerheads, I mean, those Jordan 1s were the best quality of all time. And when sneakerheads were posting on their Instagram stories and on TikTok and all kinds of social media, on YouTube, on their YouTube channels, people like the big people like Kais Omar and Harrison Neville and Seth Fowler, like these guys, even these guys are saying if the shattered backboards are a 10, these are like an 8, is what they were saying. And so seeing as these compared that highly to the shattered backboard, seeing as they're talked about that highly, quality-wise, color-wise, everything about them, there's nothing, in my mind, there's nothing wrong. Like, this is a perfect Jordan 1 for what it is. And with all that aside, even if we put all that aside, this is a colorway that we have been waiting for probably 3 years. Pictures have been leaked for these and rumored to release for the last 3 or 4 years. And so we've been anticipating and waiting for this sneaker to release, and when it finally did, I was shocked to see that they didn't hit the market as hard as I thought they would. Price for a little while was actually under retail. They were going for $170 for a little bit, and then they were going for right around retail on apps like StockX and Go, and now they're up to about $200, $210 in most sizes. So this shoe was, I'm not sure if it actually was, but it's rumored to be modeled after a super rare shoe. You might know it, you might know it not. I'll throw a picture up, but the Jordan 1 not for resales. So another black and yellow shoe. The yellow is a little bit different. It's more of like a tour yellow as opposed to a taxi yellow, kind of what we saw in the Air Max 1s earlier. So part 2 of number 10 is the Yeezy 350 V2s in the Salt colorway. Now you might be thinking, why? It's just a basic Yeezy colorway. I mean, they all look the same kind of, and it does look very similar to lots of the other 350s that have released this year. But the only reason I have this on here and the only reason I wanted it on here was because of what this shoe means. So as you know, Kanye and Adidas recently broke up, and this was the last Yeezy to ever release. The last Yeezy Adidas collaboration ever. Not just the last 350, but the last one that we will ever see. We will never see another Adidas Yeezy sneaker. So seeing as this is, the very last one, it's hard to see that these will stay they're reselling for probably around like $230, $250 right now. Over time, these are going to start climbing very, very quickly, especially when Adidas starts releasing their non-Yeezy branded Yeezys. These and the other Adidas Yeezys collaboration shoes will all start going up very fast. And seeing as these are the last pair, when the news was announced, I mean, the amount of sales on this was ridiculous. Like, I mean, price wasn't changing very much, but people were buying these as fast as they could, and in as many, and so many people. There was thousands and thousands of sales on StockX, on GOAT. But yeah, so that's number 10. Number 9, the Jordan 3 Fire Reds, which some people have them higher, some people don't have them on their list. This is a shoe that, you know, really could be, you could put this anywhere on the list besides like the top 5, I think, whether you're putting it on your honorable mentions or 9 or 7 or whatever. But these have to be on here because the Jordan 3 Fire Red is one of, well, the Jordan 3 silhouette is one of the most iconic shoes in sneakers. And the 3s are the shoe that is probably most important to the Jordan brand legacy, because without Tinker Hatfield coming in and designing the shoe, Jordan probably would have left and joined a brand like Converse or Adidas or whoever it would have been. And the Fire Red colorway being important because that's a colorway that us sneakerheads have been asking for a very long time, and they've released them in various reimagined colorways, but they finally this year released it in as close to the original as possible, and the fact that they put the Nike Air on the back just makes them that much better. So personally, I wish I would have bought these sooner when it was closer to the release date, because they were going for right around retail, which was $200, I believe. They were going for about $210, $215. Over the last few weeks, they've actually shot up to $250, $260. And it's just too bad, because this is a shoe I really wanted, but I didn't want to pay for it at the time. I wanted to wait a little longer because there was other shoes I wanted to have and that I did end up getting. So I wanted to wait and hold off on these, and I definitely regret it, because those shoes that I got stayed around the same price, while these definitely went up. They went up about $30, $40, and that's just tough. Yeah, it's too bad. I think it's definitely not going to stay put where it's at. It's not going to settle at $250. I think it's going to go up and eventually be a $300 shoe potentially. I think this shoe, being as iconic of a colorway on such a big sneaker silhouette, I am surprised it took this long for it to climb. I knew I should have bought it sooner, but I didn't. So you win some, you lose some. Number 8, I have not seen on very many people's lists. One of the reasons I have it on my list is because it is a shoe that I was able to cop on sneakers, and when you can cop a shoe on sneakers, you just love it that much more. So number 8 is actually this shoe right here, the Cherry Jordan 11. So this was, every year Jordan brand has a holiday release. They always do a Jordan 11, and people get so excited about them. Last year was the Cool Grays. They released new colorways. They released classic colorways, just all kinds. So we've had a cherry colorway before, not on a high top. They've been on a low top. I believe, what year was that? 2016, I believe. And people loved them. And so we finally, personally, I like high tops more than low tops. That's not the common opinion in the sneaker world, but for me, I'm more of a high top person when it comes to sneakers. And this shoe, I probably would still have been on my top 10 even if I didn't. I just love this shoe too much. I showed this to my mom, and even she's not a big she's not a sneakerhead in any sense of the word. In fact, she thinks it's ridiculous the amount of money I spend on shoes. But when I showed her these, she said that they were too, in her exact words, she said that they might be too beautiful to wear. So I had to put these on the list. Just the patent leather red just pops, and it makes the shoe look so good. Yeah, so number 8, the Cherry 11s. I absolutely love that shoe. They could have been higher if it was another year. If it was another year, they probably would have been higher. But the next shoes are too good to be replaced with this. Number 7, the next one is the Nike Concepts collaboration on the orange lobster dunks. So the Concepts lobster collection is probably the reason that I love the Nike Dunk SB so much. When I saw the purple lobsters for the first time, I absolutely fell in love with them. And then they have the green lobsters, the blue lobsters. Now they have the orange lobsters. And next year there's rumored to be the white lobsters releasing, which I've seen pictures of what they could look like, and I'm not a huge fan, to be honest. They look pretty plain and basic, but orange is one of my favorite colors, especially on shoes. I have a couple of my own orange pairs of shoes that I love. Most people actually have these. From what I've seen quite a few of the top 10 sneakers of 2022 videos, and most people have these closer to like their top 5, but I could not. There's some shoes on here that people don't have on their list that I have ranked quite a bit higher than these, but these are number 7. I love this shoe. The quality on the lobster dunks is definitely on the better side when it comes to the SB dunk. And dunks in general. Dunk quality has really, really taken a fall especially this last year. Mostly just on the regular Nike dunks, but some of the SBs have also been poor quality. But yeah, so that's number 7, the orange lobster dunks. Number 6, I have which most people have these as 2 or 3. So you probably know what it is. It's the MANIERE collaboration on the Jordan 4. So I'm not huge on the brown color, really on any shoe. There are some that it looks really good on, and I'm gonna be honest. I haven't been feeling the Jordan 4 as much as other people have this year. I'm not the biggest Jordan 4 fan. I'm gonna be honest. I personally don't get how the hype started with them. It's a great shoe. Don't get me wrong. It's a great shoe. I love this one, and this is probably one of my favorite Jordan 4s ever to release. The brown looks absolutely amazing on these. Most people actually, there's the little button on the side with the A on it, and personally, I think that is a super sweet touch. Lots of people don't like that. They think it's kind of weird. Like, why is it there, you know? I think it's super cool. I think it gives it just a cool little detail that you don't see very often, and that's something I personally love to see on shoes. It's something you don't see very often on other shoes. So number 6 is the MANIERE 4s. Number 5 is